we will try to discuss about the GST on services. In this class, what do you mean by services? What is the definition given under GST Act? What are the various characteristic features of services? How the transactions are divided in the GST, and what are the different rates that are applicable for services under GST Act. All these things we'll try to learn in this class. Okay, let us start the session. GST on services. Definition of services under GST. What is the definition given under GST Act for these services? What do you mean by services as per the GST Act? As per the Section 2, subsection 102 of CGST Act, services means anything other than goods, money and securities, but includes activities relating to the use of money or its conversion by cash or by any other from one form currency or denomination to another form currency or denomination for which a separate consideration is charged. So this is the definition given under the section 2 and subsection 102 of CGST Act. Service means anything other than goods. Anything other than goods. Goods are considered a separate category. So other than goods, money and securities. That means except money, goods, securities, except these three, other things are considered as services. Okay, so though the money and securities are not considered as services, but it includes activities relating to the use of money or its conversion by cash or by any other from one form currency or denomination to another form currency denomination for which a separate consideration is charged. That means though money and securities are not under the services, transforming from one form to another form. If you transform money into securities or securities into money, that can be considered as a service. Okay, so money itself, if you convert the currency of one nation into the currency of another nation, then it also come under the services. Okay, so service means anything other than goods, money and securities, but includes activities relating to the use of money or its conversion by cash or by any other from one form currency or denomination to another form currency or denomination for which a separate consideration is charged. So this is the definition given under the CGST Act 2017. So basically, service is economic activity. Service is economic activity resulting in value addition, which can be perceived but cannot be seen as it is intangible. So service is an economic activity. Economic activity means the activity in which exchange of value takes place. That means rendering of the service provider. The service provider will take the remuneration or the honorarium or the price for the services rendered by him. That's why there is exchange of value. That's why it is known as economic activity. Providing free services will not come under the GST purview. Only the economic activity in which the consideration is taken from the value receiver to the value provider. Okay, because the service is a perception. Service is a perception. It is intangible. So another feature of service is it is perishable instantly. It is a perishable. Service is a perishable in nature. That means at the time when you receive the service, just you feel it. That's all. You cannot see it, you cannot touch it, or you cannot show to others that I have this service. So it cannot be stored. The service cannot be stored, cannot be seen, cannot be shown to others. Therefore, it's just an economic activity. It's just a perception. It's a perception. Perception means the feeling of having something. Feeling of having something. For example, medical services. What do you mean by medical services? The medical services, we get treatment from the doctors. Okay. So, what treatment the doctor gives? Is it visible? It's not visible. It's not visible. It's just intangible. You cannot see it. You cannot see it.
Sir, sir.
Hello? Hello?
Sir, sound వస్తుంది సార్.
నెట్ ప్రాబ్లం ఉంటుంది నా ఏం చేస్తాం తప్పదు. వర్షం పడింది కదా, వర్షాలకు నెట్ ప్రాబ్లం ఉంటుంది. నెట్ ప్రాబ్లం ఉంటుంది. అదే నెట్వర్క్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి విన్నంత వరకు వినండి నాన్న. ఓకే
సార్, స్క్రీన్ కూడా ఆఫ్ చేసినట్టున్నారు చూడండి సార్.
స్క్రీన్ ఆఫ్ అయిందా? షేర్ అవుతుంది కదా నాన్న స్క్రీన్.
స్క్రీన్ మీద మైక్ సార్, అదేమన్నా స్క్రీన్ మీద మైక్ ఉంది.
ఒక్క నిమిషం నాన్న. నా స్క్రీన్ నేను కనిపించట్లేదంటావా?
కనిపిస్తుంది సార్. దాని మీద మైక్ అది ఆఫ్ అయినట్టుంది చూడండి సార్. దాని ప్రాబ్లం.
ఇప్పుడు నేను కనిపిస్తున్నానా
సార్? లోనే వినపడుతుంది సార్.
సరేలే, వినిపించేది సమస్యలే. నేను ఇప్పుడు మీకు కనిపిస్తున్నా కదా స్క్రీన్ మీద. So the services are perishable in nature. So what are the important features of services? There are certain important features of services. Services means it will have certain features, some important characteristics. What are those features? Because services are different from goods. Services are different from goods. Goods are tangible. Goods are tangible in nature. That means you can see goods, you can touch goods, you can verify the goods whether we are having that goods or not. But services are different. Services are intangible. So, number one feature of service is it is an economic activity. Providing service is an economic activity. It is an economic activity in which the service provider will provide services to the service recipient, and the service recipient will give consideration to the service provider. So consideration means a remuneration or a price paid by the service receiver to the service provider. That's why it is known as economic activity. Providing service is an economic activity where exchange of services, exchange of consideration will take place. Okay, what we pay to the doctor, we pay charges, we pay medical charges, or we pay remuneration to the doctor for the services provided for us. So the first feature of services, it is an economic activity. It is an economic activity in which the exchange of services and consideration takes place. Next, B, value addition. There is always value addition will take place in service provision. While providing the services, value is added. Value is added based on the service provider. The value of services will change. You know, for example, if you go to an RMP doctor, he will charge, what is the charge fixed collected by the RMP doctor? He may collect 100 rupees or 50 rupees. Because the value addition is that much only. Suppose if you go to the corporate hospital, what is the consultancy fees charged by the corporate hospital? Minimum you have to pay 200 rupees or 500 rupees or 1000 rupees, depends upon, it varies from hospital to hospital, doctor to doctor. Okay, so the value added by the service provider is different. Value added by service provider will be different from person to person. Okay, so that is the second feature of the services. Next, it is intangible. Services are intangible in nature. You cannot see them. Intangible means can be perceived but not seen. Services can be perceived, just perception. Now, for example, the educational services. Educational services, now I am teaching the lesson. I am teaching the lesson. Do you see the lesson? Can anybody see the lesson? It is just perception. You are feeling that sir is teaching. Okay, you cannot see what I am teaching. Maybe some material is you can see in the PPT, but exactly what I am saying is not visible to you. It's not, you cannot see it. The services cannot be seen. It is just perceived. It is just perceived. That is another feature of services. Next, D, instantly perishable. Instantly perishable. That means services are perishable instantly. That means they are vanished within a seconds. You cannot store them. You cannot store them. You cannot use in the future. You cannot store them. You cannot use the services in future. Okay, so they are instantly perishable. See, doctor services are available as long as doctor is with you, that's all. So doctor will prescribe some medicines, doctor will give you injection, doctor will give you some advices. All these come under the medical services. Okay, you can see the medicines prescribed by the doctor, but the services rendered by the doctor or hospital cannot be seen. It is instantly perishable. After coming to home, can you feel of having the hospital services? No, you cannot. Therefore, you cannot store. You cannot store the services for a long period. They are instantly perishable. Next, E. Service provided or availed cannot be returned to service provider or transferred to another person. Okay, the services, whatever the services you got from the service provider, all these services cannot be returned back to him, or it cannot be transferred to somebody else. Services provided cannot be returned to the service provider or cannot be transferred to others. This is another feature of services. Because suppose you are the people who are attending to this class. 20 people have attended this class. So can you return the lesson taught by me? You cannot return, because you just listen. You are just listening the lesson delivered by me. But that lesson you cannot return to me, or you cannot transfer to somebody else. Okay, so this is just a service. Service provided cannot be transferred or cannot be returned to the service provider or cannot be transferred to somebody else. Just whoever he may be, the receiver of the services can make use of that services. He can just feel that services. He cannot return the services, or he cannot transfer the services to others. Okay, but goods can be returned. Goods, once you suppose if you buy a car, that car can be returned. If you buy a mobile phone is a goods, so you can return it, you can transfer to another person. But service is intangible. Since it is an intangible item, you cannot return to the service provider and you cannot transfer to other persons. So these are the important features of services. Next, service tax. How these services are taxed in India? How these services are taxed in India before GST? That means before enactment of GST, how the services are taxed. Before enactment of GST, the services were provided or rendered by the service provider to the service received in India. A service tax was levied and collected. Before enactment of GST, a separate tax called service tax was levied and collected by the central government. So the service tax was levied on the service provider, and the service provider in himself collect service tax from the customers. Therefore, ultimately, the burden of service tax is levied on the service receiver. That means on the service receiver, customer, the consumer who is getting service from the service provider will be charged service tax. Okay. Next, after GST, after enactment of GST, how these services are taxed? How these services are taxed? After the enactment of GST, there is a change in the Constitution of India. There is amendment, constitutional amendment made in India on 16/9/2016. On 16/9/2016, it is the date on which major constitutional amendments were made so as to enact, or so as to made it possible to enact CGST, SGST and IGST acts in India by the central government and the various state governments and the various union territory governments. This is the date 16/9/2016. It's the date on which major changes or major amendments for the Indian Constitution were made by the Parliament. Because Constitution of India can be amended, constitutional amendments can be made only by the Parliament, not by the state governments. Therefore, on that date, Article 246A, Article 246A has been given concurrent powers to Parliament and state legislatures to make laws, to impose GST on the supply of goods or services or both. Okay, through this amendment, through the amendment of Article 246A, the Constitution of India provided or given concurrent powers to the central government, Parliament and state legislatures to make legislations or to make laws relating to the imposition of GST on the supply of goods or services or both. Okay, GST shall be levied. GST shall be levied on supply of services. So, as per after enactment of GST from July 1st, 2017, after enactment of GST in India from July 1st, 2017, GST is levied on supply of services on both intra-state transactions as well as on interstate transactions. So intra-union territory transactions or inter-union territory transactions. That means as per the GST, that means after enactment of Goods and Service Tax, after enactment of Goods and Service Tax Act, the total transactions, total business transactions have been categorized into two. One is the intrastate supply of goods and services and interstate supply of goods and services. So that means after enactment of GST, there is no separate taxation system for services. Services have been clubbed together. That's why the act is known as GST, Goods and Services Tax Act. It's a combined act through which both goods and services are taxed. So as per this act, two types of services are transactions have been divided even among the services. One is intrastate supply of services. Intrastate supply of service means supply from one within the state, supply of services within the state. That means both service provider and service receiver both will reside in the same state. In that case, the CGST and SGST will be levied. So CGST is levied and collected by the central government. SGST is levied and collected by the respective state governments. Okay. So in case of UTGST, in case of union territory, UTGST will be collected by the concerned union territory government. And in case of intra-union territory supply of service, so where the service receiver and service provider both reside in a one union territory, in that case CGST and UTGST is levied and collected by the concerned governments. Next, the interstate transactions or inter-union territory transactions. That is transactions from one state to another union territory, or one state to another state, or one union territory to another union territory is known as interstate supply of services. So in case of interstate supply of services, only one GST, that is IGST, integrated
Sir, voice break
goods and service. And నేను నెట్ ప్రాబ్లం నెట్వర్క్ ప్రాబ్లం కాబట్టి బ్రేక్ అవుతుంటుంది. ఏం చేస్తాం, మనం ఏం చేయలేం. ఓకే, మీరు వినిపించిన వరకు వినండి అంతే. థ్యాంక్ యూ. సో ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటర్స్టేట్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్, IGST, integrated goods and service tax, will be levied and collected by the central government. IGST will be levied and collected by the central government, and later this amount, whatever the amount collected in the interstate transactions, this amount is distributed between central government and the destination state or destination union territory. Okay, so input tax credit also is available for return out of the output tax on services. So whatever the input tax paid by the service provider, so he can get back that input tax from the IGST collected from his output tax. Next, importation of services. Suppose if you import service from some other country, if you import services from outside India, then the following taxes will be levied on import of services to India from any other country, either for business or not. That means whether you import the services either for business or not, the following taxes are to be paid. That is, IGST shall be levied and customs duty shall also be levied. So on imports, apart from IGST, various customs duties are also levied on the services imported from outside India. Next, what are the GST rates? What are the GST rates? Various GST rates applicable on various services. You know, as far as the goods are concerned, there are 4 GST slab rates: 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28%. Okay, exempted goods are already there. Nil rated, nil GST goods are also there. So in the same manner, the services, the GST rates on services or GST rates on services are also divided into 4 slab rates. 4 slab rates, same slab rates. That is, nil GST services, 5% slab rate services, 12% slab rate services, 18% slab rate services, and 28% slab rate services. Okay, so let us know what are the important services that come under 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28%. So government has also imposed GST on services with the same four-tier tax structure as of goods. Okay, four-tier tax structure, same four-tier tax structure levied on goods. The same four-tier tax structure is applicable to the services also. GST rates on services comprising of 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28% comes with various pros and cons for the customers. Okay. Every rate of tax will have its own advantages and disadvantages. However, government has exempted healthcare and educational services. Healthcare services, that means the services provided by the hospitals is known as healthcare. Healthcare services and educational services, these two services have been exempted from the purview of GST. The Goods and Service Tax Council, that is GST Council, has passed the rate slabs at nil rate, 5% rate, 12% rate, 18% rate, and 28%. Some of the services categorized under different slabs are below. So what are the various categories of services which come under the 5% category? What are the services that come under 12% category? What are the services that come under 18% category? What are the services that come under 28% category? Let us see the important services. Nil GST. That means the services on which the GST is nil. That means the exempted services. The GST exempted services. Under this category, chargeable services offered on basic savings bank deposit. So on basic savings deposit, various services provided by the banks on basic savings bank deposit account. That too opened under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana scheme. So if you open a basic savings account under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana scheme, so on that savings account, the GST was exempted. The GST was exempted. Next, hotel accommodation for transaction value per unit per day being rupees 1000 or less. That means hotel accommodation in which the rent per room per day, per room per day is less than 1000 rupees. Less than 1000 rupees. In that case also, no GST is required to pay. No GST is required to pay on the hotel accommodation in which the cost of room per day, per room is less than 1000 rupees. Okay. So these are the two important services which are exempted from GST. Okay. Next, 5% category. What are the various services on which 5% GST is levied? So under 5% slab rate, these are the various services come under the 5% slab rate category. So what are those? Working for printing of newspapers, newspaper printing services. So what newspaper printing services, the slab rate is 5%. Next, goods transported in a vessel from outside India. That means goods transported in a vessel from outside India. That means if you transport goods outside India, then the 5% GST rate is applicable. Next, renting a motor cab without fuel cost. Renting a motor cab without fuel cost. That means fuel cost will be borne by customer himself. Without fuel cost, if you rent a motor cab, on that motor cab, you have to pay 5% GST. 5% GST. Next, transport services in AC, contract or stage or radio taxi. So transport service in AC contract services or stage carrier or radio taxi. That's it. Passenger transport services, AC passenger transport services. So on these transportation services, you have to pay 5% GST. Next, transportation by air. Transportation by air. Air travel for the purpose of pilgrimage via chartered or non-scheduled flights. So the air flight charges booked for pilgrimage purpose, on that also we have to pay 5% GST. There is aeroplane tickets. Next, tour operator services. On tour operator services also GST rate is 5%. What do you mean by tour operator services? These are the operators who are providing various tours. They will conduct various tours to the pilgrims and they provide various services. So all those tour operator services, they have to collect 5% GST. Next, leasing of aircrafts. Leasing of aircrafts. If you give aircrafts on lease also, aircrafts lease, you have to collect 5% GST. Next, print media ad space. If you give or if any advertisement received in the print media, on that advertisements 5% is the slab rate charged. 5% GST is charged on the ad space provided by the print media. So these are the various services on which 5% GST is levied and collected. Next, the second slab rate. Second slab rate is 12%. 12% slab rate. Under the 12% slab rate, what are the various services? Rail transportation of goods in containers from a third party other than Indian Railways. So, containers, goods transported in container through Indian Railways will attract 12% GST. Next, air travel excluding economy. That means except economy, business class tickets will attract 12% slab. Food or drinks at restaurants without AC, heating or liquor license. That means non-AC, non-heating, non-liquor restaurants, whatever the food or drinks services offered by these restaurants, on those services 12% slab rate is applicable. Next, renting of accommodation for more than 1,000 and less than 2,500 per day. So in hotels, if it is below 1,000, no GST is levied. Suppose if it is above 1,000 but less than 2,000 rupees, above 1,000 below 2000 rupees rent per day per room. So on that rental services, 12% GST will be collected. Next, railway wagons, coaches, rolling stock without refund of accumulated input tax credit etc. So railway wagon services, coaches, rolling stock, all these services will attract 12% GST. Next, construction of buildings for the purpose of sale. So construction services, whatever the construction of buildings for sale, for selling to others, if you construct buildings on that services, you have to pay 12% GST. Next, IP rights. IP rights means intellectual property rights. Intellectual property rights on temporary basis. Suppose if you sell or transfer intellectual property rights to somebody else, on that amount you have to pay 12% GST. Next, movie tickets less than or equal to 100 rupees. The movie tickets 100 or less than 100 rupees, it attracts 12% GST. Next, chit fund services. On chit fund services, 12% slab rate is applicable. Then, so these are the important services on which 12% GST is applicable. Next, 18% GST. What are the various services under 18% category? Foods or drinks at restaurants with liquor license. That means the restaurants which are having to serve, which are having license to serve liquor. So all those services will attract the 18% GST. Next, foods, drinks at restaurants with AC heating. So AC restaurants where centralized heating facility is available, in that restaurant on the services provided by that particular restaurant will also attract 18% GST. Next, outdoor catering. Outdoor catering services. Outdoor catering services will also attract 18% GST. Next, renting for accommodation for more than 2,500 but less than 5,000 rupees per day per rent per room. So if the rent is above 2,500 but less than 5,000 rupees, then it attracts 18% GST. Next, circus, Indian classical dance, folk dance, theater performance, drama, all these entertainment activities, entertainment activities will attract 18% GST. 18% GST. Next, supply of works contracts. If anybody supply works contracts to the main contractor, then automatically it attracts 18% GST. They have to pay 18% GST or they have to collect from the customer. Next, movie tickets over 100 rupees. If the movie ticket is above 100 rupees, then it attracts 18% slab rate. Next, supply of food, samiana and party arrangements. So party services, supply of various items to the parties, that are also attract 18% GST. Next, last category is 28% slab rate, 28% GST. And 28% slab rate, these are the various services, that is entertainment events, various entertainment events like amusement facility, water parks, theme parks, joy rides, merry-go-round, race course, go-karting, casinos, ballet, sporting events like Indian Premier League. All these services, all these entertainment services will attract 28% GST. Next, race club services. Race club services will also attract 28% GST. Next, gambling. Gambling services will also attract 28% GST. Next, food or drinks at AC 5-star hotels. The services provided by the AC 5-star hotels will attract 28%. Okay, so in this way, different services have been categorized by the government under 4 slab rates. So accordingly, the service providers have to collect GST from their service recipient, and accordingly they have to pay GST to the central government or state governments. Next, as far as the GST on loans and advances are concerned, the loans and advances provided for various loans and advances, the important loans and advances, personal loans, it is 18% GST. Home loans, it is 18% GST. Car loan, 18% GST. Apart from these 18% GST, there may be processing charges. Processing charges also GST will be levied. Next, GST on car. On cars, GST will be 28% because cars will come under the luxury item. Next, GST on gold. On gold, the GST will be 3%. On gold, the rate of GST will be 3%, but on making charges, 5% GST will be levied. And input tax credit can be availed by the suppliers of gold. Next, on real estate, the GST on real estate is 5%. Earlier it was 12% up to March 2019. Up to March 31st, 2019, the real estate transactions attracted 12% GST. But from April 1st, 2019 onwards, the real estate on residential real estate will be only 5%. Only 5% on real estate. But the various inputs used for construction of houses or flats, they have to pay GST on various services providers or various service providers. Next, GST on food. GST on food items ranges from 5% to 18%. Okay, so in the various types of restaurants, they are providing 5%, 12%, 18% based on the type of restaurant in which we are getting the food is will be levied GST accordingly. Next, so these are the various lists. These are the various items, important items on which the GST is applicable. As per as the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana account saving scheme, it is nil. Rental cab services, it is 5%, and on movie tickets under 100 rupees, it is 12%, and outdoor catering and theatre, it is 18%, and 28% is on amusement park, go-karting, like this. So in this way, after enactment of Goods and Service Tax Act, goods and services both have been taxed in the same manner. There was no separate taxation system for services. Services are considered along with goods only, so they are taxed accordingly. Okay, so this is all about the GST on services. Okay, thank you very much for attending the class. and listening patiently. Thank you very much. Those who have not posted the number, you please post your number and exit from the meeting. Thank you very much. నెంబర్ పోస్ట్ చేయని వాళ్ళు పోస్ట్ చేసి లెఫ్ట్ అయిపోయినా